Welcome to Playday number 2, everybody! Let's get the show on the road here with Finland against the Netherlands. Over on the left, we got Volker for the Finnish team on Rega. We got Suri on Murden, Patsku on Blaze, MXD on Maiev, and Vexu is playing Khaldor. To the right side of the map for the team from the Netherlands, the KS Cup, we got Fish on Joanna, Meat Bicycle is playing Brightwing, Simply on Urel, Mind Talk on Chromie, and Uki on Hanzo. So a couple of you might now ask, wait, Khaldor, wait a second, hold your horses. Before we start, where's the draft? Well, it's actually fairly simple. So as I already explained as we headed into the weekend, Finland wasn't able to play on the second and the third play day, so these guys, they took over for Denmark, who had problems fielding enough players for all the weekends, and decided that before they would cause any problems, they would just withdraw from the competition, because it's just impossible for them to get all of the players together every single weekend and field the team. And Finland came in the last chance qualifier just behind Denmark, so they took over the slot, but it was too short notice for them to play on that particular weekend, so they were allowed as an exception to play those games during the week. So that's why they played the games off screen, at least this one, and this particular match is now casted from replays. It's supposed to be the only one, so the entire match there won't be any drafts. I personally don't know how exactly that series ended. It just was played yesterday evening and I couldn't cast it live, but that's the explanation why we don't have a draft here, so just in case you were curious. And well, Finland is already being welcomed to the Nations Cup, to the top 8 with a lot of damage on the side of the Netherlands. They came in with tons and tons of damage as they were trying to get the first kill here, which didn't quite work out. We have a very strong front line for Finland. We have them with Uther, with Blaze, a lot of hit point heavy stun tanks that they have here, and the solo range damage dealer really is honestly Khaldor. You still got, of course, Maiev, and she's an absolute beast and can easily also pick up top damage in the game if played properly. We've seen that in the past over and over again, but let's see what the Finnish team can do. The Netherlands, on the other hand, of course, they have also a lot of ambitions making it into the top 4. Keep in mind that the teams that make it into the top 4 with this 8-team round robin will then get a ticket to Berlin. Players will get not only their flights but also accommodation paid for the offline event in Berlin, where we're also going to have a team from Asia and from North America. And well, let's just suffice it to say that everybody, of course, wants to go there. International Heroes of the Storm, you don't get it too often these days in an offline environment, so players are super excited. You can see that the Finns are definitely putting all the stops out, coming in with 2 kills to 0 very quickly. And off we go. Now, if you yourself also want to attend the offline event, you can obviously do that too. The entire thing takes place on the 10th and the 11th of June, so in a couple of weeks. And the one thing that's kind of important, because it keeps popping up, there's no entrance fee. You don't have to buy a ticket. You can just show up at the Experian at the Alexanderplatz in Berlin and check it out. There's links in the video description if you want to check them out too for additional details. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great event. Cast is going to be there, players are going to be there, and of course tons of fans that are interested in watching Heroes of the Storm with like-minded people. And if you want to get an idea of the Experian, there's also links in the description where you can check out the venue to get a bit of an idea of what all of that is gonna look like. Blue team already turning in a bit, have delivered a couple of their gems here, whereas the red team, the Netherlands, have so far not really done anything about it. Yeah, that Stormbolt came a little bit late. If he holds it back and waits after the jump, then maybe he has a chance to stun Hanzo out. This way, though, we have Uki escaping. Straight into the trap. Maiev needs to be careful here. We're in level 7 nearly for the blue team. They got 2 kills to 0 already. So far, Finland is doing really well. But as I say, Caster Curse hits hard, and it is the end of Maiev. Urel also eliminated, so that is at least a trade in kills for the two teams, as the Netherlands have used an opportunity earlier to turn a few gems in as well. Now, on the side of the Finns, we now have a situation in which they get their Skullcracker. We got the Sunfire Enchantment here. Oh, and I think we have a real problem for Mind Talk. Stun and Brightwing with the attempted save, but I'm not sure if that's gonna work. Mind Talk! Whoa, he made it out. Wow, Chromie, she has to definitely buy me beer because Meat Bicycle barely made it out of this one. Yeah, that one was a little bit rough. So officially, Meat Bicycle is now owed a beer from Mind Talk. But yeah, make sure to make it a European beer though. I don't really care if you go for a Czech beer, Belgian beer or a German beer. Just like take one of the good ones and don't resort to the NA stuff to roll that controversy up again. No IPAs over here. So Vexu tried to turn in, but Chromie again with the interrupt here, or at least the attempt to pull one off. We get the slowing sands now for the Chromester, and with level 8 in, I mean the teams are all really fighting for the first Web Weaver wave, and so far it's looking good for Finland. They are with 45, only 5 gems shy of getting the first objective in this game. Could maybe sneak someone up to the top and make a play there. So far, hasn't happened, but Suri is trying. Yeah, let's see what they can do here. The turn-in is nearly happening, and nobody interrupts! He just turns in right into the face of everybody else involved, and that is Web Weaver wave number 1 for Finland. Alright. Yeah, and of course, up at the top, the aggression, stun into stun, and this time there's no saving Mind Talk. He's down, and oh boy, so is Hanzo. That is a massive setback now for the Netherlands. They're in real trouble. It coincides perfectly with the Web Weavers touching ground. You're nearly on level 10 thanks to the experience you just picked up with these 2 kills. And on top of that, you denied gems to your opponent. The dream scenario for Finland. And now they just have to try to get as much damage done as possible. It's a 3-man, 4-man attack up at the top. In the middle, Blaze opened the wall up and the Web Weavers attacking the fort. Blaze now moving down to the bottom of the map to face off against Urel as the team with heroic abilities is coming in through the top lane. And the Netherlands are in some real danger here of losing multiple of the outer structures. The fort at the top is already gone. Fort in the middle will also fall. And down to the bottom of the map, more and more damage is being done as the entire wall has been destroyed there too. What a fantastic turn of the tides here for Finland as they are able to steal pretty much everything away from the opponent's team. And Urel needs to get the hell out of there. She cannot stay there. You can't stay there any longer. The rotation is coming, you know it already. Muradin is getting attacked, but he's able to jump out, no problem there. They nearly destroyed the fort down at the bottom of the map too. But since the team in red has now finally picked up their own level 10 abilities, blue team is falling back and calls it a day for now. Great start. Fantastic start. Turn-ins are happening again. A lot of gems were denied, as mentioned previously, to the red team. Fish still holds 26, so there's still a lot that they can do. It's not like they lost all their gems, but Hanzo dying definitely didn't do them any favors. And now we have a chance for both of them to get that turn-in again. So it could be a double turn-in for the blue team. And what we're seeing is the Netherlands is just trying to do whatever they can to get that turn-in completed, but another Stormbolt hits. Muradin is out again, delays things a little bit. Gravity Lapse is also connecting, and they're realizing this is not going to happen just yet. We have 5 kills to 1 right now. Urel is moving it down at the bottom of the map. Patsku is also attempting to turn in, but both Johanna and Urel are going for the interrupts. Yeah, up at the top. Maybe Kelthas sneak another 12 in, and it seems like he can. So, yeah, it has to go into the fight. Fight was forced thanks to the disc. And they get another kill. It's 23 gems on the ground. Urel is trying to get them. Gets immediately focused and target. They have to use the arrow in order to get her out of the team. Ooh, and Urel, she's alive. And okay, she gets out. But she had to use her ult. Hanzo had to throw his ult out. Damn, son. They are really struggling here. Finland with a great showing in this competition. 3 kills to 1. And now making another move. That was unlucky. Nothing connecting as Kelthas has to readjust though. Now we're having another move from Jojo, but it's not working out. The gems were turned in, and that is a Web Weaver wave for the blue team. Down to the bottom of the map, we already have the last and final fort about to fall. This is not going to survive for much longer. But yeah, this is definitely a disaster for them. They're trying to get a kill too. There's a couple of traps by Chromie. We have level 13 in their hands now with the double clap for Muradin. That means healing static. We got the tidal waves again for Rega. Yeah, and of course now we're talking keeps. Finland, they want the lead in this best of 5 series. They want to go to Berlin. There's a couple of teams actually that are already in a pretty decent spot to maybe make it happen. Poland and Spain in particular seem to be really eager to get that 4th slot. There's obviously some clear-cut favorites to make it into the top 4. So for example, Sweden, Germany, France. But even if they all can make it and there are no big upsets, there's still this 4th spot left and everybody is currently fighting for exactly that. And we're only in the early play days. There's still a lot of matches to be played. Nice attack. Ancestral is out though. Good defense attempt from the Netherlands, but they gotta be careful here. First, Maiev is jumping out. The rest of the team is also retreating. Webeaver at the top is still pushing. So the wall in the middle has fallen, and at the top we see the same thing. But generally speaking, the red team did well. Now, they took some damage, but that was inevitable. Question is always just how much. 2 levels ahead, the stats advantage alone is pretty solid for the Finnish team. We got 17,000 damage for Khaldor, 28,000 for Hanzo. So on the red team side, we have a lot more damage from the Soy Boy. Especially, of course, since he's just poking the damage out, right? So he's just coming through time and time again with interrupts at the turning points, doing his best there, but also some solid arrows already. Yeah, another attempt up at the top. 55 gems for Urel. They hold 99 gems at this problem. Yeah, that's plenty. That's a double turn-in. So it's one of the reasons why this game is not over yet, despite the pressure the red team is under. If they get a double turn-in here, maybe even 3 in a row, which is definitely in the cards, then they can turn this game around. But they need to get these turn-ins, and here's the first one. Red Webeavers are going to touch ground for the first time in this game, so good for them. What can they do with that? That's the big question. How much damage can they do? The big problem that they're facing here is the level 16 talent advantage for Finland. They are about to lock that one in, and this one would be big. And already, look how aggressively they're trying to force a fight here, because they know that they get the talent in just a second. They go for Urel, she has to pop the ult again, get stunned out. Arrow with the triple connect and the immediate turn. This is the opportunity, this is the chance. The bunker is out though, and the meat bicycle on Brightwing explodes. The fruit fly is dead, the space goat is gone. It was a 5 versus 4 the entire time with Hanzo up at the top, but this is going to make it so much easier now for the Finns to defend. Yeah, bad times for the Netherlands. They're losing the Webeavers in the middle, at the bottom, 8 kills to 1. Definitely not how you want to enter a best of 5 series. Yeah, that defense was absolutely on point. Absolutely on point for sure. So, game's not over yet, but of course the situation is not going to get any easier for the Netherlands if this continues. We have them with 58 gems, which means just barely enough for another turn-in. So they lost a fair amount in the last encounter, but they still got enough for another turn-in completion. The same is also true for the Finnish team though. So the blue team with the talent advantage should easily be able to make that happen, and we already have MXD turning in over here towards the top left. So that's 19 gems delivered. Down to the bottom of the map, yep, it is Blaze indeed that finishes the job for them. So now they have an opportunity to go for keeps once again. And things are looking great. Things are looking really good for them. 32 stacks for Khaldor. Mana Pool was gonna thank him, and well, the red team, the Netherlands, they're trying to go for level 16 at this point. They try to close that gap. They shouldn't really fight here, but they're getting locked into the battle, and Uki is dead. Uki made a dookie. He's down. Hanzo gone. Johanna gone. And this is bad news for the Netherlands. Yep, they're gonna lose very likely a keep here. Maybe even the game. Only Urel and Brightwing are still here. And with how quickly they're taking the keep down, I don't think there's any chance left for the Netherlands to bring this one back. 11 kills to 1. They still don't have level 16. And here comes Finland on their way to victory. Locking in the W on Tomb of the Spider Queen in this best of 5 series on the second play day of the European Nations Cup qualifier. Nicely done, GG, and well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2. The series continues and Finland has taken the lead against the Netherlands. We're now in the second game with the Finnish team on the left side in blue once again. We got Folke on Anduin, Suri on Diablo, Vexu on Genji. So we're actually able to draft Anduin together with Genji for the light bomb engage. Patsku on the top lane is going to play Hogger, and we got MXD on Mephisto. Now keep in mind, heroes can only be played once within a series. So the 10 heroes that were played on the first map cannot be played again. Just keeping it a bit interesting and making sure that you don't have to see the same heroes being played over and over and over again. To the right side, Netherlands with Fish on Sylvanas. Interesting, a little bit of a role swapping going on here too. Mindtalk on Lunara, Simply on Garrosh, Meat Bicycle on Alexstrasza, and Uki is playing the Sonya. Yeah, maybe a leap or two could definitely be the case if they want to play this aggressive, but game starts off with Genji trying to make some plays in the backline. So far, not happening for him. Alexstrasza already with the Circle of Life. He has a level 1 talent. And yeah, we're off to the races. So, talking about the races, Genji immediately jumping over, also making sure that he checks the bush. Is still being caught here, and that is kill number 1. Netherlands starting the second game with the first blood. Good for them. I don't think they were very happy with the result of the first game. Now, as I said, the way that Finland entered the tournament was pretty simple. First of all, initially they didn't qualify. We had 16 teams that we started off with in Europe, and we had a full we have a full group stage with 4 groups with 4 teams, and in the particular group, Russia won the group. And Russia qualified, but they informed us, well, wait a second, because it seems like we have an invade happening over here at the pumpkin camp, and Garrosh might be in trouble. He gets a huge amount of damage pushed on him, and with Genji coming in as the finisher, that is a counter kill. So Russia, as I already mentioned, they had to withdraw from the competition. Some of their players weren't able to attain a visa for Europe, for Germany, and they informed us very early before the top 8 round robin started, the second phase of the European qualifier, that they couldn't come, that they will withdraw. And then we had a last chance qualifier, which was won by Denmark, who came into the top 8, but they also had to withdraw from the tournament because after looking at the schedule and talking to their players, they realized that they just weren't able to play every single weekend. They couldn't play all of the matches, so they told us, yeah, that they're sorry, but they won't be able to participate. And that brought Finland into the mix, who took second place in the last chance qualifier. So for Finland, actually, a lot of happy circumstances there that worked in their favor, and they started things off with the victory in game number 1. If they can keep that up, they might just be one of the teams that makes it into the offline event. Lunara down, Diablo dead, and damn son, we're having some action on our hands here. Both of the teams are eager. It reminds me a little bit, I think there was a football competition, European Championship at some point, where I believe it was the Danish team back then. They were not supposed to play, but one team had to withdraw, and the players were literally called back from a vacation and just had no prep time and just arrived barely in time for their first match, or so the story goes. And then they continue to, I think, become the European champion. It was like years and years and years ago, but I still remember that. So Finland is hoping to emulate that and, yeah, play out that little Cinderella story here. If they can or not, something that will be decided over the next couple of weeks. What we can definitely tell today is if they're able to start things off with a victory as they move in here. So, yep, here we go. 2 kills to 2. And everybody is fighting for the final altar in the first altar phase. Diablo gets pulled out here. In comes the dragon. That's a real dragon here. Alexstrasza is firing things up a little bit, and things are too hot for Diablo. Look at that. The Lord of Terror, weak as a kitten. Yeah, Lord of Terror my ass. So he's down. Gets killed by Bambi, and Mephisto dies too. It seems like all of the big bad evils are being destroyed here. And Lunara, talking about destroying things, she also gets murdered. So Bambi is just as dead as his mom. And yes, Bambi is male. I have to remind everybody again every half year or so, because I can't believe it myself. And I was told for the first time I was just like, wait, there is no way. And it's because of this one picture that you always see when you have Bambi in your head. It like looks like Bambi is a girl, but Bambi is not a girl. And then when you think about it, you remember the picture at the end of the movie where you see him all grown up as a stag. And yeah, then you remember, oh yeah, it's actually true. Bambi is a male. So that final picture where he was like a full-grown stag, that makes a whole lot more sense. But yeah, until I thought about it, I really thought Bambi was a girl. Nope, not the case. Either way, in this case, she, he, whatever, is dead. Back to business now. So we're in the Nexus after all. And yeah, here we go. 4 kills to 3. We got at the same time now 10 stacks for our dragon over here. Alexstrasza is getting a little bit closer to the quest completion. And yeah, things are looking good. We got the Frost Storm in, Cyber Shield is out, team's working on level 10. And it's a very nice back and forth game so far. Game number 1 was a little bit more one-sided after the first objective. Finland, honestly, thinking back to it, was in such a great spot. Where Beavers come down, they get 2 kills, and then everything falls apart for the Netherlands, and they could just never recover from it. But here, very, very different. At least up to now. Up at the top, Holger trying to poke his way out of the fight. Lunara coming in and saying like, yep, thank you very much, I'm gonna take that one. No way! He survived. Not bad. Good job. Holger surviving. Single altar down at the bottom of the map. And yeah, here we are. But look at the gap in experience. The Netherlands are really pulling ahead here. It's more than a half-level lead, and they will grab level 10, and that should allow them very easily to get the altar down at the bottom of the map, which would then push Finland to 28 points. We get indeed leap. Leap is in. We're gonna get a bit more aggression from all of this, and we also have the leaping strike. So more shots fired. Team down to 28 points on the core. Still very early on again, but yep, another quick play being made now for the pumpkins, and these are stolen away. This is the problem if your opponent has heroic abilities and you don't. In game number 1 it was Finland that found themselves in that situation. Now it's the Netherlands, and they are of course also trying to exploit it as much as they can. Pumpkins thrown to the forefront. That pumpkin is heavily confused. I was like, wait, what? Where am I? Where am I and how many? And then at some point it finally realized what's going on and ran into the structure. So yeah, there we go. Okay. It's a trap. Nah, Garrosh doesn't get the flip off. Now, keep in mind, they got actually, yeah, the light bomb engage. Exactly. Zip! And that's nearly a kill. That Apocalypse, I mean, if they really want to combo that off, then this was way too late. So I'm not quite sure what they were trying to do here. But Diablo just committed honorable Sudoku, if anything. And that didn't work well for them. Triple stun from Sonya. Big leap. And yeah, Finland is a little bit off the rockers here. That did not look too good. And Lunara is ripping them a new one. I mean, Mephisto is safe, don't get me wrong. He survived this, but Lunara is absolutely crushing them in these encounters. So things are fairly interesting. The idea with the Apocalypse follow-up after the light bomb stun is actually not a bad one. The problem is that they just completely missed the timing. I feel like they were just very late realizing that they had a potential kill there, and then the coordination was off. Either way, X-Strike, Finland, yes! So, here we go. Finland is starting to come in, and they get the kill. Yeah, nice, you know. Okay, so maybe sniff a little bit more on that Finnish vodka. You know, every single kill you get, a little bit of Finlandia vodka or whatever else there is. And off you go. Bam! Shots fired, 32. And they get another, so they got both of the altars. That means that we are tied in points on the core. And here we go. The one bad thing with the Russians gone off from the tournament is I can't go for my Russia impression. My impressions are pretty shit anyways, but some of them are funny. But that robs me of one of the few that I have. So, light bomb. There's a stun. Let's go. Level 13 talent advantage for the Netherlands, but the blue team is still willing to fight. Bambi is hopping in. Ooh, Garrosh! Yeah, but he's live, and there's the Dragon Queen. It is a 5 versus 4. Gotta give them that. But did I tell you that Lunara is absolutely murdering them? And this is what I meant. So Bambi is hopping in again. Mind Talk with one hit after another. And that is the end of Diablo. The Lord of Terror getting terrorized by a deer. Yeah. That's a fail. That's an F. And this doesn't stop here. Guys, the Netherlands are absolutely murdering them right now. They were not happy with the outcome in game number 1. You can definitely tell. So they are coming in with one hit after another. And this is just brutal. Currently we have 7 kills to 4. So it's not like the blue team doesn't fight back at all. But things just don't work together for them. It's, yeah. It's a little bit crazy. Here we go. Nice move though by Mephisto. And that's a kill. Bambi is finally dead. So their biggest threat is gone. It's a little bit worrisome, by the way, that during all of this Sonya just isn't here. The only thing that Sonya is doing this entire game is playing PvE, and that results in the top bell tower nearly being claimed. To make things worse, we have at the bottom of the map another bell tower that is really low, which means that technically if the Netherlands win a fight, they could just go for 2 more bell towers that they control very easily, so huge risk. But for some reason they're still giving up some of these altars. Even talents now, not up for a fair fight it seems. And Finland keeps invading this camp. They really like this camp. And Sonya's jumping in again, and it results in a quick kill on Hogger. Hogger down, the Apocalypse is on point at least, but the problem is there's no follow-up this time. So as things stand, the pumpkins get taken by the red team, and there's an additional kill for the boys in red. Netherlands are currently very happy with how things are going because they're getting super close to level 16, and as I already highlighted earlier, this is very quickly taken. And we have a triple altar phase coming up. If you get both of these bell towers now, that means we have 7 to 1. Sorry, 7 to 2. And 6 to 2. What am I talking about? Like, math is hard. Math is really hard. But yeah, 6 to 2 situation could be an absolute disaster. They're even escorting the pumpkins in now. So that's 2 shots already connected. Here comes number 3. Top bell tower has been taken as well. And with the altar announced any second, yeah, this is gonna potentially be a rough time for them. Pumpkin camp here, alright, it's gonna be up in a minute, so no problem there. But yeah, even if they just get 2, they take an insane lead. If they get more than that, they can nearly end the game, by the way. They can put, if they get the boss as well, Finland down to 3 points, which is 1 pumpkin camp. So this could be disastrous. Finland needs to win a fight, and instead of winning the fight, they're losing Diablo nearly instantly. The bad boy didn't have any souls together. If they lose this battle now, they're going to push through the middle, take full this is game. This is pretty much game. With only 2 defenders and Sylvanas in the hands of the Netherlands, take that one and Bob's your uncle. This has to be game. I see no way how they can salvage this situation. Unless somebody steals an altar away, there is just no recovering from this spot. Hogger is doing his best up at the top, but the barrage is starting any second now, and they get now 7 shots with every single altar. That's 14 with the 2 they're getting here. Yeah, this is definitely lights out for Finland. Finland loses game number 1. The Netherlands are coming back with a vengeance as Lunara is going for the final channel up at the top right. What a dominant performance here by the Netherlands. Those boys were definitely mad after the first game, and I can't blame them. So, well, we're in for a match, aren't we? The series is tied as we are heading into the 3rd game of the best of 5. GG. Game number 3, we're on Sky Temple, everybody. Let's go. Finland against the Netherlands. On the left side, MXD with Falstad, Patsku and Leoric. We got Volko on Azibo, Vexu on Anna, and Suri on Nubarak. On the right side of the map, Mindtalk for the Netherlands. Fish on Sergeant Hammer. Mindtalk on Atanis, by the way. The Meat Bicycle on Morales. We got Simply on ETC, and Dehaka played by Uki. Now, this is a bit of a weird composition. I'm honestly not quite sure what exactly is happening here. As I said before, we have now a tie in the series, and this is best of 5. But typically, if you would have shown me that in any other context, I might have said, okay, the Netherlands are going for the backdoor strategy. You have ETC that can stage dive, you have Dehaka that is globally mobile, you have Artanis that can buy you some time. The one hero that really doesn't fit into the composition if your goal is to backdoor the opponent's structures is Sergeant Hammer. So I don't think this is a backdoor strategy at all. If they wanted to do that, they need a different damage dealer. They need Greymane, they need Sylvanas, they need something here. So while they have the potential for tons and tons of global mobility here, I don't really think this is what we're gonna get. At least I would be shocked if we do, because they just don't have the damage potential to take structures down so quickly. Now, for Finland, a little bit of a different story. Finland right now with the Toad build on a Zebo, so they're obviously hoping to get this down to the late game with good rotations from Folke in the early game. He could get decent stacks together, but also here we will have to wait and see. It is fairly interesting though the Netherlands are playing. I mean, it's a very beefy, tanky composition with the exception of Sergeant Hammer, so it's a bit of a protection build. You have a lot of potential mobility on the map, which allows you to take control over side lanes, also over temples. We have amateur opponent now, could go for the boss there too. So there's a lot of nice little nuances that I actually like, but I'm not quite sure how that draft is going to work out for them in this case. Finland, of course, had a great start into the series as they won Tomb of the Spider Queen. We have now, after the second game, a tie in the series since the team from the Netherlands definitely stepped it up and went for an absolute brutal show of dominance on Towers of Doom. But right now, let's see how this is going to play out for the two. Who's taking the lead? Who's taking the lead in the series? Player number 2, who is going to take it here? And also what's going to happen around level 10, because I'm really curious to see what exactly the Netherlands have planned. If they wanted to go for a little bit of a cheesy strategy, I would have expected it from damage dealer, but they can still try and make some very aggressive global plays, so there's definitely a chance for that. Now, as we're looking over to the top left, we have camps taken. I mean, the same is also happening on the side of the Netherlands. The Case Cup with currently the blast shield for Morales. We got the shield battery, regenerative biosteel over here. And yeah, so a little bit of an adaptation already happening by Fish, who again finds it. I mean, he is playing the tank. Gotta give him that. And Artanis is doing what Artanis does best. He is a damage sponge. Gets saved by Morales. So good for him. Rides around on his little snowflake. And Falstad is already down at the bottom of the map and exploits the situation with extra damage on the tower. So yeah, easy peasy. The tongue of Dehaka not connecting. And Falstad is just back to his shenanigans, as everyone else is starting to look at those temples that are now activated. So level 4 talents in for both. Get the hammer gains over here. And here we are. Top side. That's where we currently have Patsku starting to come in. Shots have slowly been fired. And another grenade is in too. So yeah, it's party time. Who's gonna take the lead in this one? Right now, Mind Talk trying to sit here in the mid lane. Falstad flying up top to help out, and the team is starting to go for a potential kill with Sergeant Hammer sieging up at the wall, and that needs a reaction out of Finland. They need to somehow deal with this. Fish blasting away here very, very quickly, but with Zebo now also dishing out damage in the middle of the map and being, oh nice, swapped over by Mind Talk. That's kill number 1. Once again, it is the Netherlands getting the first blood in. I like it. Well done. We got the anti-healer now on the side of Finland for Anna. And more shots fired, which now result in the Netherlands taking a bit of a lead in this one. Now, of course, with the Toad build, you can take structures down fairly easily. We talked about this the other day, in particular. Some people, there's a lot of players around that seem to believe that the only viable build that you can execute with Nazebo is a spider build. If you've watched anything of Meta Madness and the Nations Cup, then you know that that's absolute crap. But there's still a lot of players that apparently seem to believe that. If your goal is to take structures apart, then the Toads are pretty awesome, as we've seen multiple times now, and that's exactly what they're trying to do here. Now we got Falstad also stealing a camp away, or at least attempting to, but they don't have enough time for that. Or do they? Because ETC is very much alone right now, and will have to retreat. Rest of the team is on the way, so this is a bit of a race against the clock, and I think ETC is going to slide in and try to make it happen, but they're aggressively attempting to take him down, and they might end up killing him. Falstad's a bit low, has to move away, and the camp ends up in the hands of the Netherlands. Nice. Yeah, job well done. So things are not really going all that well for Finland right now. They're not massively behind or anything, but they made a few moves that just didn't work out for them properly. And now Nazebo gets caught. Can they swap him? No. Mind Talk made a move. Couldn't quite follow up. And gets trapped. I like that. Really nice trap with the zombie wall. Morales is around, so it's not a problem, but still looked pretty cool. Top side, Leo, he's pushing the lane out. They already lost the fort there, so yeah, they are struggling a bit. And level 10 early for the Netherlands would of course help them a lot to maybe get that lead. But yeah, here we are. We got the Hover Siege mode now in. We got the Pinball Wizard. And here comes level 10. Now, we get the Blunt Force Gun, Suppression Pulse, and of course, if you go for Morales now and you want to just boost Sergeant Hammer, then you go for the Stim Drone, and that's what they do. As I said, with a different damage dealer, it could have been a backdoor build, which I would have doubted, but now with this very different situation. So, off we are. We have level 10 on both sides. That gives us also the Ravenous Spirit over here. And the single temple is currently claimed by Finland. They are forced into the fight though. Yeah, BFG is in. Here comes the Haka. And immediately goes for Anna. That is the end of the healer. Goodbye, baby. Sergeant Hammer with the kill. And everybody else on the blue team is also in trouble. Leo isn't here. This was a 5 versus 4 after the Haka tunneled in. Leoric has moved in the middle of the map to at least damage structures and maybe even take that fort down. Now that we're having the Haka coming through, Falstad also says hello. Gets immediately licked as the Haka is looking for some chicken wings, and he gets them. That's a kill. Falstad barreled over the debris, and that ended up with him being on cooldown. No chance. A second lick. Damn, the Haka's hungry. The Haka is really hungry. Can't get that kill, but now that they destroyed the fort at the bottom of the map, that leaves the blue team with only one fort remaining. Yeah, this is getting a bit dicey, I gotta say. Netherlands with a great start, making a move for the boss now as well. That's a bit problematic here. It's really problematic for Finland. Finland started this series with a win, and then the Netherlands started to bring it back. So right now we have 3 kills to 1. We have an experience lead. Another slide is already there. Another play being made, and the boss is of course taken. And with that swap on Leoric, he activates his trade, and that's another kill. 4 kills to 1. I gotta say though that Finland apparently has a strategy that they just want to get Nazebo into the late game. That's what it feels like a bit. Because he's been rotating on the lanes a lot, trying to get his stacks together, which more or less works for him. Now he has to dance around the Haka, who's looking for the Tong, and Nubarak is helping out. The problem that they have, I mean, if they get Nazebo to a decent level, you know, where he can then with the Toads just destroy structures, that's great. But they're losing too much too fast. Simdron at the bottom of the map, level 13 Talons. Gust is being used to buy some time and help with the defense, so good for them. But holding on to this game is not going to be easy for Finland. This is going to be really rough. If the Netherlands just play this safe now and focus on temples, they have a big window where they can do that before Nazebo becomes a serious threat. So this could get problematic very quickly. What the blue team really needs, besides Nazebo stacking, is they need a win in a team fight. I mean, they haven't taken a single structure out yet. Talking main structures here, talking forts, and I'm sure that they at least destroyed a tower, yeah. But they need to do a little bit more than that. Even Talons gives them an opportunity to fight. Nazebo, again, looking, generally speaking, pretty good. And once that has decent stacking in, he also went into the big voodoo now, so that's already strong. That helps him as well. Makes him very tanky towards the late game. Sky Temple is, on the other hand, not really a map that ends usually up with a massive late game. I mean, don't get me wrong, you get to level 20, obviously, but it's not like we're seeing 30-minute games on Sky Temple all that often. So we'll see how that works out for him. Stacking is good for Nazebo, that's great, but they need the experience and they need to at some point decide where they want to make a stand. And there's a lot of global mobility for the red team, as I highlighted earlier. So can they take some of these shots? That's the question. With the control of the top temple, it means that the Netherlands are now starting to attack the keep at the top side. The Haka could tunnel down, Doesn't necessarily have to. They could give this one up down at the bottom of the map. But here comes the attack. Isolation attempt. They go for Morales. Even that doesn't work. Anubarak is in trouble, but Morales finally falls. Morales is down because the Haka never came in here. Finally makes an appearance. ETC dead, but so is Anubarak. They're still making a play for Anna. She survives. Maybe the ability to turn the fight around for Finland. Maybe they got a chance here. They got 2 kills to 1. Everybody is now down at the bottom of the map. The temple shots can still be taken by them, and they are starting to look a bit better here. Nazebo still waiting for his level 13 choice. Hasn't taken Ice Block. Could do it now to save his hide, and doesn't. Still no pick. Damn. Wow. Volker, the balls of steel here. No panic pick into Ice Block or anything. 122 stacks for him on the baseline now. They were able to get a kill against Artanis as well. The level 16 talents for the Netherlands give them a lead. But now Finland has clawed their way back a bit. They can take down the fort at the bottom of the map and maybe even make a play for the top, where the mercenary camp has pushed into the fort. So good news for them. This one is definitely going to fall. Goodbye. And now the chance to even rotate topside to get more temple shots. So, yeah. And here we are. Gets the ice block after all. Once again, another fort destroyed. Or at least they're trying to. But quick ult from Artanis to slow them down. If anything, I'm a little bit shocked that we didn't see Nazebo take it down right away. But I have to assume that he was on cooldown with his abilities. Falset, on the other hand, trying to at least soak a few of the shots here. And maybe the last ones. Cannot pull it off, though. So the top keep has now taken damage on the blue team side. They've at least destroyed one fort. They can get a second. We're on level 16. Nazebo with 140 stacks, so he is going to get to his quest threshold. Only question is, are they going to get to level 20 in any situation that would help them to still turn this game around? That's the only question right now. But yeah, really wild game, because Netherlands, they are still pushing this. Nazebo sitting at 30,000 damage. Sergeant Hammer is at 38k. Hasn't died yet either. And if they can just get Nazebo a little bit closer here, this one's gone. And yep, there it is. He'll easily move in. One set of toads. Goodbye fort. Is he going to get out? I think he is. Yeah, nice trap here. And the swap. Oh, the swap works. Yeah, has to. No, he didn't use his 13 and he dies. He didn't use the ice block and he's dead. Even the Cocoon and Sergeant Hammer couldn't help them. Oh boy, that is bad news. The fort destroyed, but Nazebo has fallen. 4 kills to 6. Oh boy, oh boy. And guess what's up again? It's the boss. Oh boy. Netherlands, they are making moves, move after move. I mean, it's very clear who is currently controlling the flow of the game. It's clearly the red team. Yeah, they lose the Haka though, as he gets caught. And what I like from Finland is that they are trying their best to just somehow hold on to this game. And with them killing the Haka, it's actually quite interesting because it denies the boss to the red team. So this is a really interesting situation now. Even with amateur opponent and the Sergeant Hammer attacks, the boss is still not taken. That would have been a huge issue, because if they claim boss in this situation, they will likely end up destroying the bottom keep. And that's more structures removed, that's speeding up the game. So, yeah. Anubarak is going to get a couple of the shots down at the bottom of the map, so that's good news too for them. They need to try and delay this game for as long as they possibly can. The whole goal seems to be to allow Nazebo to get into the late game. And the Netherlands know, of course, that they should try and prevent that from happening. So a few shots are taken, and then they just fall back, but it should still be enough to take the bottom keep down. So if they are not making a play, then they will lose their first big structure. The first key. And I don't know if they can afford that, because time's ticking. And once that level 20 hits for the Netherlands, you can bet your ass that they're going to go for the boss. 100%. Once level 20 is in, if they're not forced into the fight before, then they will wait for level 20 and then they will go for boss. That's what they should do. That's how they can end this game, especially if they take the bottom keep out. So this is a real danger. This team fight, hugely important. The only chance that Finland gets to fight without level 20 on the other side. Stim drone has already been used. Keep at the bottom of the map is now going to be destroyed, so that one's gone. Bot lane is wide open, and if you're Finland, you really want to fight this. You don't want to wait until level 20. And if you're Netherlands, of course, you're just like, yep, see ya, boys. See you in 30 seconds. We're not gonna fight with that. So, Netherlands in a great spot. An absolutely fantastic situation right now. They can wait for level 20, they can play it slow, then they can force the boss fight, can keep the Haka at the top, push the lane out, buy some time, can do whatever they want here. And for Finland, this is a really shitty spot to be in. I mean, they're already posturing around the boss because they know exactly what's going to happen. Fallside is defending at the top, here's level 20, and now they can force that fight. And this is a pretty shitty one to be forced into if you're Finland, because you don't want to go up against an opponent that has Storm Talents over you. We get the Zealot Charge over here, we got Ultra Capacitors, Hyperactivity, Bolt of the Storm. They're all just posturing around. Fallside is trying to get them the experience so that they can fight on even talents. And Netherlands, they aren't really willing to fight this. They don't really want to pull this off right now. They think it's too much of a risk. They're looking at this and they're saying, guys, we don't need this. So they actually give Finland the time to go back to 20. I mean, it's a conscious decision that they made here. They don't think that they are in good enough of a spot, even with a level 20 advantage, to fight on the boss. So, fair enough. Trying to play it a bit safer. But this allowed Finland now to go for level 20, and this means we're going to get Viral Infection. Once that Nazebo is picking his talent, at least. The same also true for Fallset. Where are those 20s, baby? Where are those level 20 talents? Are they griefing? Why are we not seeing a pick on 20? I don't care what you pick something. Down, kill against Morales, and they're also killing Leoric, so it's a kill for a kill. Fallset has still not chosen, has the ult readily available. Finally the Viral Infection took you long enough. I thought he was saving it for the next game. But yep, there we are. And the Wind Tunnel has been chosen as well. So they're trading kills. Single altar is up. And Nazebo is now, just to check before he uses his level 20 talents, at 44,000 damage. 44,000 damage, that's when he went straight up for Viral Infection. So let's see how the damage ticks up as the fight continues. Well, it continues with him and Anna taking down Artanis, so that's a kill. But ETC is up at the top lane, and that means another keep is about to fall. The Netherlands, they're coming in and they are crushing. But they're also losing a little bit of ground here at the top. One fort gets destroyed. I mean, it's not quite comparable. You trade a fort for a keep, not really your best move. But here comes the attack, and Nazebo again. Big damage. Not even on structures at this point, but he made 5,000 damage happen in the last 2 mini encounters. Now, they have 2 that they can take. Another kill. 8 kills to 7. So this is the first time that Finland has actually taken over on the damage numbers. Interesting is, though, that both of those temples are still up. So they're getting the shots now fired. And now we're starting to attack the inner ring of defense of the red team. So they're gaining some ground. Finland trying the big comeback in the late game. 190 stacks now for Nazebo. They get all of the shots fired. And Nazebo has to be very careful that he doesn't go too deep here. And oh, look at the damage! That's 30% of the hit point pool gone without the help of Morales in that situation. So yeah, another nice entomb and the quick kill. ETC is dead, the buried alive, annihilating him. And guess what? Now with only 3 heroes left for the Netherlands, they go for the boss themselves. Well done, Finland. Oh boy. Netherlands, they still have all of their keeps. Only 1 is remaining for Finland, so it's really down to the wire here. But this is still kind of rough what we're seeing. Because for the red team, it's going to get harder and harder to defend against all of this. They need to have a real good position to safeguard all. And also to take down Nazebo, considering that he's becoming a massive late-game tank with his big voodoo on level 4 and nearly 200 stacks now on his baseline. And just look at the structures. Look how quickly he takes these down. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And these entombs are fire. Absolutely fire. Nice move. Mind Talk again, taking tons of damage here. And Nazebo is just stacking it up as we speak, and the boss will eventually take that keep down if Nazebo has anything to say about it. Another volley of toads is in, and yeah, that's just no way saving this one any longer. Or is there? Maybe? Nah. Keep is gone. Falstad has been defending the top lane the entire time. And they even killed the Haka! No! He came from behind and tried to force the fight and couldn't. Now we have 2 temples activating. Falstad is still on duty to defend everything up at the top. And yeah, it's nasty. Another attack maybe being forced here. Yep, there's the bird alive. Nazeebo comes in and takes ETC down. This is such a disaster now for the Netherlands. Oh god, they must be furious. They dominated the early and the mid game, and then Nazeebo in the late game with the rest of the team just turns the entire thing around. The coordination is on a completely different level now from Finland, and they are getting kill after kill. Wind tunnel used, Mind Talk can't escape, everybody dead with the exception of Sergeant Hammer. The BFG doesn't hit either, and that's a quick move for the core as Finland is again threatening to take the lead. And just look how quickly Nazeebo crushes this core. 13 kills to 7. Game number 3 goes to Finland as we are moving on to the next map in this best of 5. GG. Game number 4, Finland with a 2-1. What a comeback on Sky Temple. The Finnish team doing work. Now we're heading into game number 4, and this is match point number 1 for the Finnish team. So they're off to a good start here in the top 8. Folk on Stukov, Surrey on Varian. We have MXD on Vala. Nice damage, obviously, for Battlefield of Eternity against the Immortal. Patsku on Chen. Fat Illidan is in the house. And we got Vexu on Zarya. On the right side of the map, it's the Netherlands. Probably not happy with the outcome of game number 3. Fish on Thrall, Mind Talk on his Liming. We got the Meat Bicycle on Lily. Simply is playing the Imperius, and Uki is playing Rexa. So, Thrall at the top means that he's not going to go into Trash Lightning. If he was part of the format at the bottom of the map, I could have totally seen him go for Trash Lightning instead of the Trolling Thunder. But Thunder it is. We have Vala, not with an arrow build, going into auto-attack style now that she has sorry, not Varian. Yeah, but Varian too. Varian to shield her a little bit, but it's more so Zarya, obviously, that's going to help her out as best as possible. So, auto-attacks for MXD. Yeah, I like it. A bit more aggressive and more focused on the team fight than just focusing on the Immortal. You have Misha there as well, so that's a chance to get some extra damage and some extra hits in. Question is, of course, always how much can you stay away from these stuns, how long can you survive, how long can you keep those Gambit stacks in play that give you the added attack speed. But so far, NXT is really doing this well, and I'm honestly a little bit shocked. I don't understand what the Netherlands are doing here. Why would you put Rexa at the bottom of the map and Thrall at the top? Now, first of all, if you have Thrall at the bottom of the map, you can go into Trash Lightning. But also, why are you allowing an auto-attack Vala and add a target with Misha to just stack it up? I'm not so sure that is the right move here. You obviously add an additional stun, so you can make the argument, hey, we have Misha here, we can threaten them, we can go for these stuns and then blow Vala to pieces, as they're about to do. So there's a kill right there. But I'm not so sure if this is going to help you in the long run. Now, they got the Vala kills. That's kind of important. But they also lost Misha and they lost Liming here. So, while I think they're going to be very happy about the exchange and kills since they removed the Gambit stack, little bit on the fence about how they're setting the lane up here. Because I think if Vala plays this properly, she can really take advantage of it and use Misha as a ding, 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 ding sponge for her level 1 stacks. But of course, thanks to the kills, now at the bottom of the map, aggression is happening. Mind Talk, by the way, could also go into his hyper-aggressive build once again, which we might see here. Alright, Thrall came in, so... oh, that's a 5 versus 4, and another kill on Vala. Yeah, alright, Finland is already having some trouble. Vala dying twice, 2 minutes into the game is definitely not a good start for them. Losing Zarya definitely doesn't help their cause either. I like the interrupt, but that's not going to do anything for them outside of being a bit of a nuisance for Simply. Chen, thankfully for them, was at the top and got some experience, but that is definitely in the Netherlands off to a good start here in their attempt to make game number 5 happen. So 10% attack speed already removed from Vala, which kind of means that at this point you're really just looking for stacks. So we'll see what he can do here. We also have with Speed Barrier at level 4 and also Taunt, finally a couple of tools in the arsenal of Finland that they can try and use here to make all of this happen. We'll see if that's going to work out for them or not, but yeah, time will tell. Either way, top side, another hit, and the Panda is dead too. Or is he? Maybe not. Gets his ass kicked by Li Ming. Nice. Yeah, job well done. So, gotta say, really good plays from the Netherlands at this point. 4 kills to 1 just at the beginning of the game. And things are looking up for them for sure. Looking really, really good here. Much, much better than in game... Actually, it's not quite true. In game number 3, they also had a pretty... Sorry, game number 4. No, this is game number 4. Game number 3, yes, Sky Temple. They also had a bit of a lead. They did really well in the early and the mid game. It was a late game when Azebo and the coordination of the Finnish team just ripped them a new one. And talking about that coordination, it's starting to come into play again, a little bit late maybe, but they finally pull it off against Rexa and they get the kill. Can they do a little bit more? Can they follow up with a second? Fat Illidan was already jumping into the fight. Greedy for revenge, and of course Varian is also trying to close the gap here. They are still doing some damage over on the left side as they are now moving in for the Immortal. It should be a victory for the Netherlands on the Immortal at least, but it seems that Varian is throwing himself straight into the path of every single ability that he can find just to make sure that he is protecting that Immortal a little bit longer. That might just give the team a chance, and they take it with 85 hit points. Whoa, you gotta be kidding me. Varian sacrificing his life for a good cause. They made it happen. 85 hit points on the shield. That's pretty much non-existent. Varian just soaked up all the damage and was just like, okay, I'm going down for this one. But none of these living abilities are gonna make it through to the Immortal, and they actually worked it out. Nicely done. So now we have 5 kills to 2. The Immortal got taken. Chen is pushing through the top lane with it. I mean, you can't really talk that pushing, that the Immortal is super weak. But down at the bottom of the map, they're trying to get some kills in here. And they make a play for Rexa, who survives. Imperius also makes it out, so there's no death down here either. But they are taking a couple of these towers down. This was probably the weakest Immortal attack that I've ever seen in my entire life. And Finland is very happy about it. It's like, yeah, we did nothing with it, or very little, but we prevented the opponent from pushing with it, took it away, and it came at a very small cost. We only had to sacrifice Varian here. So yeah, they did a little bit of work. 69 stacks for Vala right now. Nice. And at the top, Chen is still going through that wall. So they destroyed a couple of walls, a couple of towers. The gates have gone down, or low, but not much more than that. Now Vala can still stack and is doing exactly that, using Misha as a pin cushion over here. Misha is starting to retreat. She needs to be a bit careful there. 5 kills to 2, and still that leading experience from the Netherlands that we saw earlier. But now it's a 5 versus 4 in favor of Finland, because Thrall is rotated up to the top again. Varian has his taunt. Could use it, does on Imperius. They try to get the kill here. Start to body block him as well. And Varian is saying hello as he just zips around the debris. Goes for the kill. Oh my god, these saves are insane. They're actually able to keep Imperius in play. Thrall is enjoying all that freedom up at the top lane. And yep, that is the end of the gate and probably one of the towers. Still attacking Misha. Misha gets even taunted, making sure that Vala can get her stacks together. That's 100 stacks, 7 minutes in. 10% attack speed, as I said before, are already lost because she got killed twice. Now we have level 10 for the Netherlands, and that's a big gap that has to be bridged. But they are at the top, making it even more annoying for Thrall and forcing him to use Earthquake. Zarya went down though, and they are chasing this one deep. Mindtalk in particular is of course hyper-aggressive now with this build, and this is typically what we're seeing from him. But they are attempting to just bring this back, get level 10 themselves, and then see where it gets them. Halftime show will have to be given up. That one is not gonna happen for them. But again, they're gonna have Zarya back in time. Misha attacked again, more stacks for Vala. And Vala's single target damage is not too shabby. I mean, she's at 24,000. She's top damage in the game currently. So this is pretty significant. Question is simply how they're playing this out over on the right side now. Yeah, the quick attack against Mind Talk, maybe a little bit too fast. Triple Panda is in the house. Everybody's in the choke point. And Lily is dead. What a lurking arm, baby. Lily dead, and so is Imperius. They went into the choke point and just took them apart. And now we find ourselves in a... Oh, the taunt! I was about to say, in a very familiar situation with Li Ming trying to get the damage in and everybody else blocking it from hitting the Immortal. But then Li Ming gets caught off guard and gets killed. Yep. Well done. Job well done. That's a big one. And of course, with that, we now have all the way up over the top the chance for Chen to push this out a little bit further. We have 6 kills to 6. This time the blue team wins the Immortal with a few more hit points left on the shield. 5,500 to be more or less exact. And they can now go for the first fort. At least that's what I would assume is going to happen here. 124 stacks for Vala, so she's getting good damage out too. We're waiting for the level 13 talents next. But it is a party time down here. Because this is the opportunity for Finland to get a little bit closer to winning the first match here for them in this Nations Cup, in the top 8. Finland on their way to maybe a potential victory in this series. It's a little bit too soon to tell, but they are definitely off to a decent start with now drawing even in kills and experience with the Netherlands and pulling ahead in structures. So good for them. 1 fort down. Chen, by the way, not here. Has to deal with the camp that is at the top and also lock in additional experience for the team. 4 stacks on Thrall, talking about stacking. So he's currently trying to complete his quest 2, as you can obviously tell. And at the same time, the move towards the top by Sori, Volker, and the rest of the team. So, here we go. Can they do a bit more work here? By the way, Uki with an absolute disaster of a mount. I mean, pleb mount deluxe. That's the only thing that we can say there. So looking absolutely disgusting. I'm sure he has like an epic mount somewhere, but not using that. Maybe a unique one too. They go again for the kill. Oh, Varian is dead. Varian is dead. Vala still trying to stack a little bit. The triple panda also in trouble. Run, baby! Raiden! Yeah, he's trying to get out. Big Panda back to business. Here comes level 13 and the big question, what is Li Ming gonna take? Li Ming, yes, once again with the cannoneer over here. Going for the aggressive moves. The Panda is dead. Okay, the Netherlands, they are fighting back. They're not giving up on this one. They're saying, boys, let's go. We force game number 5. We go the full distance in this series and we're gonna show Finland how it's done. We lost Sky Temple, can't lose this one as well. But Vala is still on a mission, still stacking. 137 stacks right now. It's a nice back and forth game here, with Netherlands taking control again, on the kill count at least. But the blue team is holding on to their fort at the top. Another taunt on Misha, more stacks for Vala, 141 for her at this point in time. Again, Vala is getting good damage out. She needs to be careful with Li Ming on the other side. Has now also Gloom, which is definitely going to help her whenever Li Ming is unleashing. But can she go the distance on this one? It's a bit of a damage battle between Vala and Li Ming, and currently Vala is winning. I mean, barely. Barely. And yeah, off we go. Another quick attack. This time it's actually the blue team that is pulling ahead a bit because there's no talent advantage. The last 2 times the Netherlands did way better just at the beginning of all of this. Of the objectives. But right now, slightly different story. So, Vala still attempting to stack. Nisha is coming in again. Another couple of hits. She's 8 short of getting another quest reward on her base, on her level 1. Yeah, and that single target damage is something that Thrall in particular does not enjoy. There's a lot of frontline that can be hit here. You just need to be careful that Mind Talk doesn't get the resets. And Mind Talk has been playing aggressive throughout the entire game. And he's been doing some really, really nice moves. So, you have to be careful. If he gets his resets, he can turn the fight by himself. And a few more shots are in. Vala needs another 2 and has it for the next quest reward. There it is. Focuses straight back onto Thrall. Earthquake being used. Here comes the lurking arm. Thrall, tons of damage now by Vala. They're pushing them back. A lot of the ults already used in this battle. Their triple panda still not activated as Fat Illidan can start to make another move here. Vala is pulling ahead on the damage numbers with ease. No problem against Li Ming here as she's just unleashing one hit after another. She doesn't even have Manticore yet, but that is of course going to make things even more favorable for her. 6 kills to 8. Still very little damage on the 2 Immortals since the teams are just fighting for dominance in this team fight. And now that the camps are up, they could also start to deviate over and try and apply lane pressure. Which is what we're seeing from both of them. Both of them are just moving away from the Immortal, try and sneak in the level 10 ability very quickly here. Level 10 ability, what am I talking about? The camp, sorry. Trying to sneak the camp in to make a play as they're waiting for the level 10 abilities to be back off cooldown. So Vala with 167 at this point on the stacking count. MXD still being very, very cautious here. And the attempt to apply additional pressure, particularly from the blue team. They've already destroyed the bottom fort, which means that their Shaman camp has a chance to damage a keep. So Netherlands have to be super careful around all of this. And they are already starting to rotate heroes down, as they should. They can't afford to lose that gate here. So once again, everybody just agreeing on not focusing on the Immortal for a couple of seconds. And you know what? That means that the Netherlands get a talent advantage. We've seen this over and over again in the previous fights, that they are running talent advantages around the objective. They had the early level 10 and were able to grab the Immortal, or nearly grab the Immortal based on that. But somehow Finland always brings it back. Now we got the Mirror Ball, we got the Alpha Wolf, and Li Ming explodes! These lurking arms that we're getting from Stukov are just awesome! Another great one that just shuts the attack down in the choke point. Patsku is low, and Chen is still in play. Triple pandas, baby. They're taking another kill. No level 16, no problem. They get 2 kills, they get 3 kills, and they're working on the 4th. They're going for Lily and they take her down. What the hell is happening here? Finland is absolutely murdering it. Absolutely destroying it. Glorious performance here by them. We got 10 kills to 8 at this point in time. And it is just looking fantastic. Good moves made here. We got 16 versus 16 on the board. And that gives us, of course, also Manticore. The damage output that we're getting right now is absolutely insane. Nicely done. So, this is going to be the push. They're going to try and set this up topside to destroy the second fort. And obviously the goal is to not only stop there, but to also push this a little bit further and try to take it down even more than that. In an ideal world, you want to go for the key. You have a situation where Vala is finally unleashing Manticore damage. She has nearly 200 stacks, so the level 10 damage, or sorry, the level 1 damage that she gets out here with the auto attacks is increasing. She's already at 52,000 damage, which puts her way ahead of everyone else. And there's the stacks against Misha. Easy time with another quick attack coming, and this is just looking fantastic for Finland. Finland is now coming in with a vengeance as they destroyed the fort and they are trying for keep. And there's very little to stop them at this point in time. The Immortal still has a massive shield. This is a huge push for the Finnish team as they are trying to decide the series in their favor. This is a big step towards it. And honestly, if they can get kills here, they might even be able to bring this a bit further and bring it to an early conclusion. The keep is already gone and the Immortal is starting to go for the core itself. Vala is above 200 hits now. Her damage is absolutely crazy. And this is gonna get nasty quickly. Here comes the attack. Netherlands are losing the shield on the core. And I can't believe it, but Finland is actually going for it. Finland is coming in with wild damage, going for a kill on Imperius that they get thanks to the taunt from Varian. Vala is taking aim and is destroying them, and that's victory! They take it! They win this series! A 3-1 victory for Finland against the Netherlands here in the top 8 on play day number 2 of the European qualifier for the Nations Cup. GG!
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.